Welcome to the Best Bashers BBL Fantasy Supercoach podcast, the best fantasy podcast in the game, supported by BigSeven, Lach, and Griff. I'll let them introduce themselves, but Lach, take it away.
Hello, I'm Lach, and I've been playing BBL SuperCoach for about 8 years. Last year was my best season, finishing 128th, and I also have 4 other top 500 finishes.
Thank you, Lach. Over to BigSeven.
Yep, I'm BigSeven. I've been playing Supercoach in general for probably for over 15 years. Mainly play AFL Supercoach. I've been playing BBL though for maybe 7, 8 years as well. Best finish was 145th. I think that was in 2021-22. Bad year last year, 3600, but we're definitely going to improve on that this year.
Fantastic. I've saved the best for last. Best for last. Griff, take it away.
Absolutely not, mate. I'm Griff. Been playing for about 6 years, and best rank of 9th, which was unfortunately from a big choke in the last round. But I've got 4 other top 1K finishes, I think. So
What year did you finish ninth in?
Sorry, what was that?
What year did you finish ninth in?
I think it was 23, 24.
Yeah, perfect.
I think it was 21-22. It was the same year I had my best finish.
Okay.
We're both victims of that Maxwell.
I remember it was the year,
or whatever it was.
Yeah. It was the year where the Scorchers just randomly got a double, like mid-round, because of some COVID stuff.
Yeah. Was it the Geelong one or was it the COVID?
I can't remember, but I just remember I had like 3 Scorchers players, and they just all of a sudden went from having a single to a double, and I went from outside the top 100 to inside the top 5 in like 1 week. So it was a lot of luck, yeah.
That is just BBL Supercoach at its finest. My best finish.
And if that doesn't sum up BBL Supercoach, I don't know.
Oh shit! Yeah, that is just ridiculous. My best finish is 557, so not bad, but yeah, definitely looking to improve that. What we're gonna do is we're gonna start with our biggest lock. We're then gonna go into our biggest trap. Then we're gonna talk about players to watch. So some hopefully cash gems, but also some up and coming superstars, or maybe some superstars regaining some form. But we'll start with our biggest lock, and we'll start with Lockstar, namesake. Who is your biggest lock?
All right, my biggest lock for my starting side is Baba Azam, priced at 152,000. Only in 19% of teams for some reason. I think he will absolutely crush this Australian competition, as Australia is not good in short form cricket. But Baba Azam is. He averages 43 in all T20 comps, with 95 50s and 11 tons in 317 games. I think batting with Felipe at the top of the order will suit him well. Felipe can sort of kick off the innings as he likes to do, swing hard, and I think that will help Bubba just rotate the strike and build into his innings as he likes to do around the world.
It's incredible that he's only at 17% ownership. That is just insane. Like,
I think I can safely say he's in my side and probably all of ours.
Yeah, I agree with Locke. I think he's going to tear this competition apart. I think I am worried that he might have a slow start, because that's always the talk of the town with the adjustment into Australian pitches, as well as just the competition and the weather. But I don't know. He's just, as you said, a superstar.
Also just the watch factor with him. Like, it's so hard to watch a game and not have him, and he's just... There's a 50% chance he goes out there and knocks a half ton in 10 minutes, really.
Yeah. I agree. BigSeven, biggest lock?
My biggest lock, first player picked for me, is Nathan Ellis. The doubles obviously play a big part in that. He's got the round 1 double and round 3 double. He's the captain of the side. exactly what you want out of a pure bowler. He bowls at the optimal times for wicket taking, bowling the surge, and he'll bowl 2 overs at the death as well. Last year, he was extremely consistent. He only had 2 scores under 30 for the year, but he also has a ceiling as well. 3 scores last year over 80 plus. That doesn't include the final last year where he took 3 for 23. And I just don't think there's any argument for not picking him with the double, with the role that he's going to have. He's just one of the premier bowlers in this competition, and with 2 early doubles, I don't see any argument for not picking him.
I totally agree. Alice is definitely on my side. I think he's dominated the competition over the last 3 years, and again, he's got strong international form. So I definitely agree. You're silly if you don't go without him. Griff, what do you think?
Yeah, I think all of the players we mentioned are going to be in all of our sides. So agree with everything Josh said.
Who's your biggest lock?
My biggest lock is a player that we haven't seen in the BBL before. So like Lach, interesting to go for someone with no prior history, but Rashad Hussain, didn't know much about him before he was announced, but looking into his stats, he is just a machine. 55 T20 international matches, 71 wickets in that time. This is against the best in the world. And then generally in T20s also 96 matches, 109 wickets. Like, he's easily taking over a wicket a game, even in international cricket. Good with the bat, has a good strike rate, 134 in T20s, 127 in internationals. So with those guys at the bottom of the order, like, strike rate is the main thing I'm looking for, because the only real way they're getting us any points is if they knock out a quick 20 anyway. So that is my main concern with those all-round players. And I think he'll just have a similar kind of season to Akil Hussain, who we saw a couple of years ago.
Yep, no, totally agree. I don't know much about him, so I can't chime in here. I'll hand it over to Lach and BigSeven to talk
Yeah,
about him.
I definitely can. I've done a fair bit of research on him. He was really dominant in the T20 World Cup last year in 2024. And as Griff said, playing against the best. I don't remember how many wickets he took against Australia. I think it might have been 3. But yeah, displayed really strong form throughout that tournament. And we've seen players and spinners in the past for Hobart come out of nowhere and done well. So players like Hatsoglu and Paddy Dooley, who, kind of club players, just come out of nowhere and do well for Hobart. So I think it's scary to think what an actual good spinner could do for the Hurricanes this year.
Do you believe that 117 is underpriced for him?
I do, definitely.
Yeah. Lach, have you got any opinions on him?
Yeah, I think he is too cheap, especially with those 2 double game weeks early. He is a leg spinner with a very similar action to one of the greats of this competition, Rashid Khan. So I think he will dominate.
If he shits the bed, you're all to blame.
Not gonna happen.
Moving on, I think my lock, and I'm sticking with the Hobart Hurricanes. I'm going Tim David. His recent form in the Abu Dhabi series is incredible. If we look at his stats, 98 not out, 57 not out, 40, 35, and then 30, all on a ridiculous strike rate. My only concern is him batting at 5 or 6 in predictions, but I don't see Weatherald being dropped from the test side in the upcoming fixtures. So I think Tim David will bat up the order, whether that's at 3 or whether that's at even 2. I don't think he'll open, but definitely it could just rotate between different players. For his price, he's way too cheap, I think, at 123,600. Just with the form that he's in and the opportunity that he's going to get with those fixtures early, the 2 doubles. If you don't start with him and he explodes, you're going to have to force him in, and you're going to have to pay a lot more than 123,000 for him.
Yeah, he definitely has the potential to get a quick fire 60 off 20 balls, and there goes your overall chances. So he's someone that I'm probably not going to be fading with his explosive power, but he might bat as low as 5 in that stacked Canes lineup. So that is the only slight concern for me. But if he is batting any higher in the practice games, yep, I'll definitely have him.
Yeah, fair enough. I definitely get the caution with him batting at 5 or 6. Definitely could with the issues at the top order for them and the amount of quality they have. Let's move on. Next
Yeah.
up.
Sorry, I will mention. I did in my video. I did think I did consider David a chance to open. I thought
Yeah.
he'd done it a couple of times for Australia, but I must have dreamt that or got him confused with someone else. So he's actually batted at 4 for Australia in recent P20s. If he has that role for the Hurricanes, then I definitely would jump on board. I guess a little bit of a danger is, I mean, he's someone they could decide to bat at 5 or 6 and use him as like that power surge big hitter, and that would obviously hurt his ceiling a fair bit. The form he's in, man, it's scary if you fade him. I think there is an argument for fading him, but at the moment he's in my side until we see what the Hobart team sheets are looking like.
Griff, thoughts?
Not in my side. I'm not really anywhere near him. Unless he's named in the top 3, I don't see myself picking him, to be honest.
Yep.
I don't think it's a terrible pick. It's just I see more upside. Maybe not more upside, but more like floor in the other picks with still a good chance of upside. I think the floor is just too low for me.
Fair enough. It's funny you
And
mentioned that.
that's a good point to make because, and we do talk about Tim David's upside. You can get those quick fire 20s off 10 balls and etc. But he does have an extremely low floor. He could, you know, as good as the form he's in, he could be slow out of the gate, and suddenly the fade is looking good. So I'm not totally against the fade. At the moment, he's in the side.
It's funny you mentioned. I thought he opened for Australia too. I'm literally looking through it. I was like, oh, 4, 4, 4, 4. Like, interesting. The fun stuff. Who's your biggest trap? We'll start with Griff. Take it away.
On a few ways with this. Not like I'm trying to be a little bit controversial here, but I'm gonna say Mitch Marsh is my trap. The reason I'm saying this is because I have seen him in a lot of sides, and I just don't think he should be in any sides. I don't think he's going to bowl at all. They've got Hardy as the 6th bowler. There is no reason for him to bowl. He is still possibly a break glass in case of emergency player for the Australian Test side, maybe. I could see an outside chance of that. And without a double until round 4, I think he's just not making enough money to block a potential double player from being in your side instead. I think Hardy probably should have been in our biggest locks because that price, he's just the chance of him making 50k and you being behind the rest of the comp is so high. But with Marsh, without bowling, I just don't see that same explosion of cash that could hurt your season.
I want to talk about that really quickly. Do you expect Hardy to bowl?
I do expect Hardy to bowl, yeah.
Okay.
He has been bowling recently. He's in good form.
Yep.
The one kind of flag on Hardy is that he didn't play in the recent one-day domestic game. He has been playing Shield though, and expected to be fit for the season as things stand. But that's just a minor flag on Hardy. If he's anywhere near fit, then you're correct. He's a one.
And even if he doesn't bowl, which I think he will.
If he doesn't bowl, it will depend where he is in the order because I expect him to be at 3, but he's also someone that they could be controversial with and put down the order.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
BigSeven, I know you're keen for this one. Take it away.
Yes, so my biggest trap is Cooper Connolly. I think a lot of people look at him as, still a young ascending player who has upside. He'll bowl a bit. But it really comes back to how I feel ideologically about this game, and it is that you should be attacking the double game weeks. Cooper Connolly doesn't have a double until week 4, and 188k is just far too much cash to have locked into a non-double. I would rather do something like start Dorcius and trade him to a freebie and then trade him to Maxwell rather than have that 188k locked up and then instead of flipping good players, you're flipping bad players like your Silks and your Swepsons. Like you really, I don't think you want to do that. I think there's also a chance that he bats down the order as well. He started last year at 3 and then moved down to 4 later on once Hardy was fit. And also, it felt like a lot of games last year where Perth top order would collapse. And that's what happens when you have Keaton Jennings as an international. I think with Bison at the top of the order and a better season for Finn Allen, you see Cooper Connolly come in later in the innings, which hurts upside from a batting perspective.
Very well reasoned. Lach, who's yours?
My biggest trap is in 37% of teams currently, and it is probably the best player in this competition, Matt Short. I am not paying $215,000 for someone that doesn't have a double until round 7. Yes, he will score very well. I think he will be bowling in the power play like he has been in recent years. Obviously, opening the batting and doing his best to carry that not good-looking strikers team. But he will need to average about 80 to hold price. And yes, it is possible. It's probably not likely. And with no double, I just don't see the point paying up for that when you can pick others such as Owen, who has been cleared of injury for 20k less, and he plays 5 games in the first 3 rounds.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I fully agree with that for the same ideological reasons that I don't want to pick Connolly. I think Short is just as big of a trap. Who's your trap, Ezzy?
I want to give an honourable mention to Glenn Maxwell, and purely based on the same thing for sure. His double comes in game week 5, but again, you're paying an exorbitant amount of money for a player that plays in the Stars, and the Stars are shit.
They've got
So,
a double in round 3.
I was in round 3.
Yeah.
My apologies, but still, I'm not paying 204,000 for a game week 3 double when I can just trade into him, and then you get him for the game week 3 and game week 5.
Yeah, I agree.
My trap is Nikhil Chedheri. I think his role is not going to be as good as it used to be, especially with Hussain coming to the side, and you've got Ahmed that potentially might take some of his overs. I think he obviously will bat at 4 or 5, but I don't see him bowling 4 overs consistently. I think the overs are going to go to Alice, Meredith, Hassan, and then split between Jordan, Ahmad, and Nikhil. I also think his Shield cricket form is going to suck a lot of people in, where I just think there's way better options for that double game week, especially better Hobart options. But keen to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I was gonna say he would have been my more obvious choice, just because I think the highest he bats is 5, probably, and I can see him getting pushed down the order if they haven't lost many wickets later on in the innings and they want to bring Tim David up or Rahan Ahmed maybe for some big hitting.
Yeah.
I just think there's no reason to even.
Yeah, I agree. I see no reason to pick him. He's been pushed down the batting order. He's down the bowling power ranking. As good as he was a couple of years ago, I don't see him reaching anywhere near those heights.
Yeah, I think Mac Rydell.
I think people are sucked in by his price tag, and just with the reliability of the household name. whereas you've got your Hassan or you've got your Ahmed, where people don't really know about, so they just go for what's known. But yeah, I'm glad we agree on that.
It's the all-rounder capability as well, but he's just probably not going to bowl that much. So
Yeah, I totally agree. I think this is more the fun one, and one that we're going to look back on is who was right and who was horribly wrong. But players to watch. I have one player in mind, but I want to hold him off to see if anybody else has noticed him. But is there any takers? Who wants to start this one?
I've got a couple. First one is Chauhan from the Sixers, an English leg spinner who is not really a wicket taker. Hasn't sort of broken out in any of the top tier leagues around the world yet, but he is still young and a good prospect. So I think he's a wait and see. But they do have the double straight up. So if you are picking as a cheap option, I don't mind it, but his floor is probably like 5 from dot balls. Like he could easily bowl 3 overs for 38 runs, not take any wickets. So yeah, I think the upside is not as good as you would expect for an international spinner, just because he hasn't been a wicket taker around the world. And then I also have Ahmed, who we're talking about before with the Hurricanes. He batted at 3 and 4 in the English T20 comps and the 100. But I'm not sure where he's going to bat for the Canes. It could be as low as 6, as they have probably the most stacked batting lineup in the comp. But he also took 12 wickets in 10 games bowling in the 100 as well. So, yeah, as you said before, I think he will take, if not some, all of Chowdhury's overs. And for the price, I think his upside is worth it. But yeah, if he's listed at like 6, then it would be probably hard to pick, but any higher, he's a lock for me.
I think instead of debating on whether we agree or not, is anybody picking those two players in their team?
I've got Chauhan at the moment.
Yep.
But I really don't know anything about him, and I've just kind of got him there out of fear more than anything because he's so cheap. So he's kind of one that I want to move up to Jordan, just because at least I know Jordan. I know what he's going to do. He might be shit. He might be washed, actually. He's 38 now.
But he's 100% what?
I hate Jordan.
I should have put him as my trap, but that's all right.
I agree.
Okay. Well, I just, his role is always good no matter what. So he's one of those guys who, no matter how washed you are, I'm still scared to fade, but I do have Chauhan there at the.
I've currently picked none of them, but BigSeven, who is your monster watch?
Yeah, sorry. I've got Chauhan at the moment, and it's really just out of uncertainty around that 6 and 12 lineup. Because I've got Dorcas as the main guy, but I've got no idea who I want to pick as a second option. It'll be Abbott if he's fit and ready, but if he's not, then I'm really uncertain if you want to go to Kerr or Richardson or Chauhan or Murphy. And you worry about the Sixers bowlers getting rotated from game to game. So I've got Chauhan at the moment, and I'm like Griff, I don't feel good about it. And then Ahmed, I've got him as well. He feels like a player that he could just have the perfect role where he's at 3 and bowls 4 and he's the best pick in the game. Or he could be 6 and like a part-time bowler and underwhelming. I think the range of possibilities for Ahmed is immense, and I'm interested to see where he's listed in the batting lineup.
Yep. I don't know much about him. I think I need to go and do some research now after this conversation because he's not someone that I was even looking at. But you've made a very good point. If he has that role, that'd be incredible. Is that your two who you're looking at, or who else are you looking at?
So is that directed to me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. I'll go into my players that I'm looking at. Speaking of guys that could have a god tier role, one player I'm definitely looking at is Hassan Khan, the USA international. Played one BBL game last year as a replacement for Jacob Bethel. In that game, he batted at 6, which was above Will Sutherland. Was out for 6 or 4 in that game, and he ended up bowling 3 overs as well. So scored 1 for 27 in that game. So batting at 6 and getting a full complement of overs is one of the best roles you can have in the competition, apart from like a Short or Cooper Connolly kind of role. And his form from Major League Cricket is pretty good. And I know that's the America competition, but it isn't completely full of bums. The side he played for was the Unicorns, who they had Matt Short, Fraser McGurk, Finn Allen, Cooper Connolly, all in that side. So it's not complete scrubs in that league. In the games that he played last year, he had 5 of 11 games where he scored 20 or more runs. And in all of those games, he went at 160 plus strike rate. So he's good for some late order hitting at a fast clip. And also in those 11 games, he took 12 wickets, generally bowled between 3 and 4 overs, and they included 4 wickets in the final. And yeah, if everything goes right, he's a cheat code. The one flag I have against him at the moment, apart from not having a early double because he plays for the Renegades, so didn't have a double until week 8, is that he played in the Caribbean Premier League and in 6 games didn't score a 20 and only took 3 wickets there. So it's just a matter of, can he take that step up from probably a low level in Major League Cricket to BBL? Not that it's too big of a step in my opinion, but if he can take that step with a god tier role, he's definitely someone I'm interested in.
Yeah, I definitely have concerns over the fixture, but he's one player that I like. Watching him last year, he performed very, very well. Just that, yeah, no early doubles is a bit annoying.
Yeah, and the other good thing about him is his 80k, which is cheaper than all of the other internationals.
I didn't even know.
Anyone else have any thoughts on Hassan Khan, aka the pod?
I mean, I don't know much about him, but yeah, the upside's there, just the fixture, there's no reason to start it, so it's a great one to just have on your watch list, I guess.
Yeah,
I'm very tempted to start as a pod, but I
You
understand
can make
the
a stack
concern
of
about
cash,
fixture.
but it's just like, when's their double? Round 8?
Yeah,
too far away.
fair enough. And the other one who's more of a watch for me as well, and another one who doesn't have a double full is Jason Sanger. He's in 7% of teams. He moves across from the Thunder to the Strikers after a few torrid years with injury. He had a collarbone in 2022, a wrist injury in 2023. Last year, had a bicep injury, which he suffered bowling in a one-day domestic game and then played BBL and re-injured that. So his breakout season in BBL was 2021-2022. He averaged 61 SuperCoach points across 11 games. Since then, he's only played 7 regular season games across the 3 seasons for an average of 21 SuperCoach. Last year was really good in finals for the Thunder, where he opened at the top of the order. Scored 30 off 19 in, I think it's the Challenger, whatever the final is before the final. And then scored 67 off 42 in the final itself. I think it's just the case of whether he can stay fit and where in the order he bats, because he can open, but recently for South Australia in one-day domestics, he's been at 4 and 5. So he's someone that's more of a watch. I don't think I'd be picking him, but I wouldn't be surprised if the move to Adelaide revitalises his career.
I like it.
Yeah, I've always liked Sanger.
He's actually my pick for top run scorer in the whole comp.
Whoa, that's a big call.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, you never know.
Griff, who are you watching?
I'm mainly just watching for a couple of team sheet things, with the Sixers and the Canes. So, like, it's really just That top four for the Hurricanes, I'm still unsure about. So Wade, McDermott, those two are just a watch for me. If either of them's named at 4, I'll probably pick the other. Also from the Sixers, I just want to watch Jack Edwards, where he's named 3 or 6. I think he loses a lot of value at 6, but he's still pickable. But I think I'd rather swap him to Flip if he is named at 6, which might be unpopular, but he's one I'm thinking about. And I also just want to throw out, am I the last one? Because I'm sure someone else probably wants to talk about Shut Up Khan.
I think.
Yeah, he's
yeah,
on my
Bez?
list.
Yeah. Just was out for about 5 months, I think, with a shoulder injury, and only just got back into it. So I just want to watch him for one game, I think, before I pick.
So you wouldn't start.
I think he can start,
Yeah.
but I think like there's only so many Thunder and Heat players that I'm gonna start, and I think there's way safer ones who you're gonna want 100%, despite the role or the fitness of the player. So right now, I'm a lot happier to have any of Sam's, Nisa, Bartlett.
Yeah.
I agree with all of those names.
I'm just going to
I've got-
say that BigSeven before was talking about Hassan Khan might have the best role for fantasy. Shadab Khan could have an even better role. The last time he played in the Big Bash, he played 5 games in 22-23 for the Canes, I think it was, and he bowled 19 overs. So pretty much 4 a game, which is absolutely cracked because I'm pretty sure that he'll be batting 4 for the Thunder, I think. At worst 5 below Billings, but I think he'll bat above Billings. And if someone's batting 4 and bowling 4 overs, that could be captain option in a double. So definitely a big watch and see.
I had him at 6, I think.
Yeah, okay.
I think last season he played for Hobart. He started the year batting at 3 and then was moved down to 6. But yeah, I could see him batting anywhere from 4 to 6 in that Thunder lineup.
Yeah, me too.
So just to confirm, in 22-23, played 5 matches for the Hurricanes, bowled 19 overs, took 7 wickets with his best figures 3 for 20.
Yeah, could be huge for Supercoach.
He's a gun.
Yeah.
And goes to a spin-friendly deck, playing most of these home games at NG Stadium too.
And Ashwin is now out for the comp, so he will be the second spinner behind Sanger, which also helps him instead of being the third option.
Yeah. A lot of 6 around Shadab, just hope he's fit.
Some people would argue Chris Green, but I don't think anyone on this podcast.
He is not a spinner.
We're talking about spin bowlers, Griff.
What have you done?
He's a slow bowler, not a spin bowler.
What have you done? What have you done? I think the best thing with Shadab Khan is he doesn't have to double in round 1, so you don't have to pick based on the risk. If you don't pick him, you can sort of watch and see, like Griff alluded to.
Yep.
But definitely there is the consideration to just pick him based on his past ability and hopeful role, which, as you're alluding to, Lach, I think is definitely there.
Yeah.
My one to watch is a little bit like meh. It's a little bit of a kind of not obvious, but also boring because there's really no risk to it. Campbell Callaway. I really like what he did in the under-19s international competition. I'm loving what he's doing at Shield cricket level, and he had an excellent innings for the Prime Minister's game against the England boys last week. 58k, it's really no risk. They've got the double in game 3, round 3, and then you can just bench him in round 4 because you picked him for nothing. or he can use his cash to get one of the perch scorcher guys, which is going to be super, super expensive just because they always are, and then flick it back to him or go elsewhere. There is the risk if he's really hasn't broken out yet into the scene and a relatively low floor, but you're not going to field him anyway. And I think he's a cash cow option that can have the Mitch Owen sort of bang for buck. I mean, he doesn't have Mitch Owen's role, and he luck botted into that last year. But I think there's definitely quality there, and I can see him having a big career in the next 5 years. But is this the year that he breaks out, or is it next year?
I think a lot of the
Well-
value picks like that are just not so relevant this year as much as they would be in maybe another year where we didn't have Hardy and Nasa for both sub 100 who we can just put on the bench.
Yeah.
Yep, I don't mind the pick, especially with the double in round 3. He's a cheap play you can stash. Personally, I think there's better cheap options, but I wouldn't be against him. And like you mentioned with Mitch Owen, he wouldn't be the first player to come out of relative obscurity and make his mark in the scene. So I wouldn't talk you out of Campbell Callaway if you wanted him. Not in my side at the moment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could see him in my side in another year, just not this year.
Yeah, I totally understand that. I think before we end and we go into our hot takes, there's one thing I want to get through.
Actually, there's one more player that I really don't want to mention, but I think he has to be mentioned now, especially in the wake of Spencer Johnson's injury. And he's a player that
No,
it's
don't
always
do it.
he's going to be in the best 11, and then
Oh, no.
guys like Will Presswidge and Tom Whitney get elevated from club cricket to play over him. But I think we need to talk about Jack Baldermuth. Yeah, I hate it as well because I picked him last year and had to scramble because there was no way he wasn't going to get named last year with the squad they had, and then he didn't get named. But from all reports, he's doing well in Shield cricket. And with Spencer Johnson's injury, he could be the 4th pace bowler, 5th bowling option where he bowls most of his complement and bats at 7, and he is handy with the bat as well. I really didn't want to have to mention him, but I think I have to. What do you boys think about him?
I think there is too much propaganda going around about some mythical role that he might have that I don't think I will be picking him, even if he is named.
You heard it here first. The wildebeest is a mythical creature.
Yeah, yeah. He always does this. He always has good preseason form. Looks like he's getting a role. Round 1 teams come out and he's running drinks.
He has
Like-
done it before though, like to be fair to him. He has just put a good season together a couple of times.
Yeah, he has. For me, he's definitely. I wouldn't be picking him, to be honest. I have no confidence that he makes it from. If he is named in round 1, that he makes it round 2. I need to see it before I believe it.
I just have no confidence that Brisbane actually want to play him.
Yeah, I think
And yeah, last year's actions really displayed that. I mean, bringing Tom Whitney and I think it was Daniel Drew up from club cricket to play over Wildermuth, who was on the list, I think really spoke volumes.
yeah.
I'm not going near him. No, I think if he looks good after round 1, like you said, jump on board, but definitely not starting. All right, I think let's talk about, and let's rapid fire. How many doubles are you having in your game 1 week side? Lock?
11 and 11 is the optimal number.
Griff?
I've got 10.
Okay,
I've got
BigSeven?
Samson Curran on field as well.
Perfect. Josh?
Yeah, I've got 11 plus a 30.
All right, and then follow up to that. Pick 1 Brisbane Heat and 1 Sydney Thunder that if you were going to pick one of them, who would it be? Lock?
I'm going Bartlett. He can way outperform his cheap price. And then bit of a cheap one, Bancroft on the wicket keeper bench.
Yep. Griff.
Sam's for me. 116k is ridiculous, and he's been in good form with the bat. And I've got Kuhneman at the moment.
Okay.
I see.
He's just my boy. Was really good for me 1 year, and I just kind of have a soft spot for him, and he'll be the main spinner in that team now. So don't see too much downside with that pick at 75k.
Solid.
Yeah,
BigSeven.
and my boy is a Freedy. I think, like Bubba is on, he's just going to be 2 or 3 levels above this competition. That pace attack for Brisbane is scary, even without Spencer Johnson playing. And then the other player who I would go for is Cameron. He was banned Groff.
Such a shit pun.
That had to be done.
It did. It was there for the taking. Lastly, we're going to finish this on hot takes. Then we're going to wrap it up. So, who wants to start us off?
Yeah, I'm happy to start. I thought of my hot take a couple of days ago, and I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to say Brisbane Heat bowl out a side for less than 60. It won't be for the it won't be quite the Thunder levels, but I think that pace attack is just going to pour through a team, probably a Melbourne one, and make their mark on the competition.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Griff, Lach, who's next?
My hot take is, well, it's not really a hot take, but Melbourne Stars will be the worst team in the competition. But the hot take is that as a team combined, they will have the most individual tons across the competition and still be on the bottom of the ladder.
Ooh.
Who do you reckon's turning up?
Maxi has 2 in him, I reckon, and then a sneaky one, Joe Clark will ton up.
All right.
Griff, mate, you're up. I'm saving myself for last.
Mine's a simple one. I just think Hussein, most wickets in the comp this year. I think he's an absolute lock, and I'm even considering him as a captain over Owen.
Ooh.
Jeez,
That is hot, and I love it.
That is very hot. My hot take is Nathan McSweeney is going to stink this year up. I just don't. I rate him as a batsman, but I just think his last 12 to 24 months has been uncertainty. He's lacking confidence, and I think he's going to have 1 or 2 shit innings, and it's all going to fall apart. So, McSweeney to shit the bed for me.
Do you reckon he'll get dropped or just relegated down the order?
No, I don't think he'll get dropped. I just think they'll elevate Renshaw above him, and then probably Bryant again, and he might drop to 5.
That's not hot enough for my liking. I reckon you can do better than that, Lach.
I'll add to the hot take. Usman Khawaja comes in and replaces him.
Ooh, I like it. There you go. That's it.
Usman is washed in that test side.
Oh.
I'm going to add to my hot take as well. Afridi's going to take a hat trick.
I don't know if that's even a hot take.
Yeah, it probably isn't.
Beautiful. I think we'll wrap it up there. Before we let you go, next pod, we're going to look at our teams. We're going to take a look at the ownerships of players across the competition, and we're going to look at the fixtures and deep dive into them. Really, there's not much to talk about in those, but it's about making those last-minute decisions and making sure that we're all guided and we know what we're doing. Plus, I think we all want a little bit of a pod to our own. So, going to talk about which one's the best one. But again, thank you for listening. We really do appreciate it. This is Best Bashes, and let's hope for a good week.
See ya.
Yep.